Giving myself 35 minutes. I don't know how much I'm going to accomplish in this time, but I'm going to try and do a little waterfall here on my pencil lead holder is running out of lead, but all right, so I'm not doing this from a complete vacuum, but I did versions sort of this my iPad, and I'm going to try and keep that same sort of idea. Try to keep the same idea as I had with the iPad. I think I'm going to just do this in pastels because, of course, I got sort of, I don't know, I started kind of obsessing over them a bit after I had to do all that pastel stuff for that little art lesson at the school, although I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to make it so that the water sort of mists the way that I had it misting in the other one. Don't want any of these. Try and get some tree branches in the foreground here. Sort of growing out of the side, or coming in from out of the, out of the frame. And I'm still trying to find the best position for the camera. I don't know yet if this is or is not, but it's where we're at. Okay, so I think in the other one I tried to had a bit of a, this is going in this way, this will bring us in here, the waterfall is going to come straight down. It doesn't need to be that much more complicated than this, really. Just where is the water exactly? It's coming this way and down. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm gonna assume, or I'm not gonna assume, I'm gonna make a choice. Sorry. I'm gonna make the choice that the waterfall is hitting much farther below, so that it's not gonna create that sort of like mist up here. And this is where the water's running from both sides. I think maybe the rocks have to be a bit higher up on this side, or else we would see more of the, so the water's gotta kind of be here, maybe. Otherwise, we might be looking at it from an impossible angle. Not that, I guess, technically it's something that can't be done since it's art and it's not a photograph. So if there's, I guess you can take photographs where things don't necessarily adhere to reality either. Okay, so I have this one branch. That's probably a bit silly to just have one branch. Maybe we'll give it some sort of a burl on it here. And then on this side, I want the same kind of branch or not. Sorry, I don't know if that notification comes through. I'm guessing it doesn't, since that it wasn't technically on the camera, but if other people saw that I got a text from my friends, I guess that lets you know that other human beings do communicate with me sometimes. Alright. This rock, gonna make it like so. What I'm trying to make sure that I do is that I use the colors that I choose here in a minute to make this have the viewer's eye come down with the waterfall. Now there's nothing down here, so maybe we should add something else down here. Man, I mean, I've been seeing a lot of rhododendrons recently. I don't know how good of a job I'm gonna do with a rhododendron though, with the pastels working this small, so probably just like another branch that cuts across here might be nice. Yeah. Okay. I like that. But I needed to do a little bit more like this. Create kind of a... Alright, that one. So this should push that back a bit, and then I'm gonna try to do like either a sunrise or a sunset. It doesn't really matter, as long as I can get some sort of kind of orangish color in the back there. Have this be a nice bright white. Yeah, so this, I'm gonna kind of make this the cliff here, I think. And then, so this will be darker down here. This is just kind of a slope. Yeah, I don't really want to get too detailed. I only got, what do we got here? 27 minutes. Yeah. So this waterfall does not exist. It's just kind of like an invention based on all the waterfalls I guess I've seen, or I mean, that's one way of putting it. More so, it's in a combination of all the waterfalls I've drawn. I mean, all the ones that I've seen, I have not tried to draw. So maybe it might be giving my self too much credit. So I definitely do a better job of knowing what I've seen when I've taken the time to draw it, versus when I just try to draw it the first time from imagination, if that makes any sense. Not sure that it does. Now, do we need anything else in the background? I think I'm just gonna get into it. That way I don't waste too much time. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my smock and then hope that the pastels are actually up here. So I don't want to spend 2 minutes walking down the stairs. If I could just get this going. Oh boy. What a day, what a day. Been a while since I've been able to do any of this stuff. Almost time to get back into some oil painting as well. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to doing a little bit more digital work too. It's been a while since I've focused on that very much. Obviously that's a lot easier to, or it is a lot easier for me to do that sort of thing as a video than this, but trying to get this figured out so I can have this as part of my standard stuff as well. I think I probably prefer the physical art over the digital stuff, but okay. Now let me get my paper towels. I can clean off this pastel, and I'm gonna do like just a pretty light. I want to look at I can't see it on there, can I? Let's start with get these branches first, maybe. All right, so this one's pretty dark brown. I'm gonna go over top of this one with a lighter brown to hopefully blend that in. So the idea is that the sun is gonna be hitting the topmost portion of these branches and everything else as well, except here it's kind of probably hitting both sides. And this one, these colors, you know, what's the right color question, I think, is something that people often ask. But that is like not even, you know, what's the right color if you're trying to do an exact copy of something, I guess, that might be worth pursuing. But for this, you know, does it look like a tree branch, number one? Number two, does it look like the sun is affecting it the way that I need it to? And if it does, then we're in business. All right, this gray has been taken out of its, where's this? Actually, this isn't gray, this is blue. But it's really, really desaturated, so this could do the job. Let's see here. So now I'm gonna come in. This rock is gonna be one of the ones that should be on this side. It's gonna be darker than it is on this side. So I'm gonna use this white just to kind of get some color in there, and then I'm gonna try to find I'll just use the same color here and see if we can get that to do what we need it to do. And then I'll bring this white in here to kind of blend that a bit too. I'll probably start doing some finger blending with this stuff just because I want it to have that kind of look. Okay, so these rocks, I mean, they're gonna be darker, but not black. So I'm gonna go with some blue here, some darker blue, a dark and I would say also cool blue. So on the color spectrum, it tends, well, closer to blue than to red or yellow. That's how I think about it. Might not be a dictionary definition, but not necessarily looking for that. For everything, you know, it's like the anatomy for artists. You don't, if you know what it is that you're drawing, you know, you can call it whatever you want as long as you know what it's supposed to look like. Now you go to medical school, obviously things are a bit different. Okay, so I'm gonna, for ease of moving along, I'm just gonna use the same colors for the rocks up here because it's just gonna be a lot faster. So this rock, I'm gonna lightly get in here to all the places where I think where the sun's hitting it less. Okay, the sun should be hitting it more here. I'm gonna say it's less here, less here. Now this down here is also the same color rock, but it's cooler. It's a cooler blue because the sun is not directly hitting it. The same thing with this down here, okay? For anyone who's listening and is interested in why I'm doing what I'm doing. You know, I'll probably add some additional colors in here just to break things up a bit. But now I want to kind of go up top. I'm going to start with this yellow color. I want to get that going all the way. Now this, I'm going to probably find some spots to get this yellow to kind of have it reflecting off the water and the rocks. I'm just going in here pretty rough and light at first because I don't want to I think burnish the tooth of the paper, which is to push it down, force it down so that it no longer has any tooth to it. And then I'm gonna see if this orange, I think if I'm trying to, I wanna actually, what I'm doing right now is looking at a sunset, a reference sunset, because I cannot remember if I've ever seen a sunset where the orange was above. Like, I need to know if the orange is supposed to be above or below the yellow. And so this is an instance of using photo reference to make a smarter choice. Now it looks like, yeah, the yellow, which makes sense, right? Like if the sun is below the horizon, the yellow is going to be closest to the horizon line because the yellow is closer to white, the bright white of the sun. So the orange is going to be higher up here, and I don't want it to just be everywhere necessarily, right? So I'm gonna once again not just smash it in there. And then down here, I'm going to get this white into the yellow here a bit. I'm gonna try to avoid hard edges as much as I possibly can also, just because I want this to be like a loose little painting. I'm calling this a painting because I'm using oil pastels and not using watercolor. But okay, so now I'm gonna see if I can get this yellow in here between these two. Let's see if we can make that look like it's burning a bit, like a sun. Okay, we're getting there. Wondering, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I got 15 minutes, but you know, I'll do what I can do in the time that I've given myself. Okay, and I've not done this yet, but I've been given some, or I don't know where I saw this. I saw some advice about how to kind of erase if you make a mistake with pastels, and that was to take one of those scratcher sticks. I don't know if you or your children, grandchildren, whatever, have ever seen these things where there's these like little scratcher kind of it's like scratch art, right? So you just scratch off whatever the material is at the top, and then underneath color is revealed, and then you can make some cool stuff like that. Okay, let's get more of this stuff filled in here. So where it's absolute darkest, we're gonna need a little bit of black. So I'm gonna get some black into the places where the light is like completely not hitting, which I don't want a ton of that because I don't want a bunch of hard edges, but I do need to have some, or else I don't think it'll look quite as nice. All right, so it's darkest right in here, and then here. I think actually it would be pretty dark right there, and then this area here should be pretty dark too. Okay, I'm gonna grab some. Is that the right color? It is not. I thought I had another gray. I'm starting to wonder. So I got orange up there. I'm gonna go with purple. Could be no, purple's not gonna work. All right, I'm gonna go back with that grayish color that I was using previously, and then start trying to get these other shapes in here while I still have an opportunity, before I run out of time to work, or run out of time that I've given myself to work. If I don't stop, then I won't spend the time with my children that I said I would. I told myself I would do it. I'm sure they would gladly just watch television until their baby sister woke up. But that is not how we're running the show around here. I'm not just watching TV all day. You're going to hang out with your dad, whether you like it or not. Okay. And, all right, so we have water here, water here. If this were a watercolor, I would just leave that all without any pigment. Like that would just stay, or not all without any pigment. I would dilute it heavily down to get some color. But, and likely because I fiddle with things a lot more than I probably should, I would end up taking the color, or taking a white gouache or casein or something, and then I would do the water over top. Like I would do a darker color underneath and then bring the water back out over top. So more of a mixed media guy than anything else. Although the more I work with just oil or other opaque mediums, like, well, this is an opaque medium, the more I enjoy it. I used to be scared I was gonna mess something up, and then I sort of realized that that's all that art is you just, there's this perfect white piece of paper and then you mess it up. you make it into something that hopefully looks like something that either you enjoy to look at or something that somebody else enjoys to look at, and it's the best you can hope for, and honestly it's pretty awesome that it's even something that we have the opportunity to do. I'm very grateful that I get this chance. All right, so I'm taking a step back to take a look, to get a look at this. I like I do like the colors of the sun. You see the pastel broke there, which is no big deal. Just keep on keeping on. And I taped it down. Sorry, I know this is wobbling all over the place. My desk I have the camera mounted to the desk, and it's very wobbly. I kind of just wanted to see if I could finish this watercolor, or this pastel painting, and make something I was pleased with. Alright. Time to start making some more choices with color. A minute. I am now gonna get some more blue in here, I think, and start looking for more ways to have these rocks differentiate from one another in the dark spots. So this blue is, I like the way this blue is looking. Trying to see, so the light's hitting that there, which means I can come through here a little bit more. And some of this is going to be cast shadows. Some of it's just going to be like I don't know what the word is, occlusion shadows. I can't remember what occlusion shadows are. But there's a bunch of different types. Okay, this is supposed to be okay. Now I think I get it. All right, so this is gonna kind of cut through here to make this rock come out a bit, and then that rock is not. All right, so it's gonna be like super dark in here and here, and then that rock is gonna cast a bit of a shadow there. This up here, because this is closest to where the sun is, it's going to be darkest, I believe, or I think in my mind that's how it would work. And then we'll get this here, so it would still be visible, the color of the actual rock would still be visible. But so you can see that pushes that top rock back a little bit. This rock comes forward, and then now I kind of want to get some, I think, some yellow in here, and I'll get some yellow here and here. So this is going to make the hope is that this sort of makes it look as if the sun is kind of glowing on the rocks. Now, obviously, right at this second, it's still just pretty messy, and that's okay. We're gonna figure it out as we go. And I think we kind of want a little bit in here of the glow. I'll get this going again, because these rocks, I don't want them to have any of the, I don't want any of the paper showing through on the rocks. At least not right now. I may change my mind as I get closer than this white. Okay. Up there. A bit too much, maybe. I don't know. Okay. Some of the stuff that I am like imagining effect-wise, so like how to make the water sort of look like it is rushing down. I'll have to, I'm guessing I'll probably end up having to do that as something I do after the fact, because I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do to get that where I want it yet. I've never done a waterfall in pastels, so could take a minute. All right, so I want this to sort of be, it is sticking out enough there, and then I'm gonna bring this blue back here and see if I can do a little bit of this, and then get this blue down here next to this brown. Looks like I got 2 minutes, so there's no chance I'm finishing this, which could be sad if I wanted to be ridiculous and didn't want to be excited to hang out with my daughters, but I am excited to hang out with them, and they need to stop watching TV for today, because there will be more TV days. We're gonna gotta make sure I don't get too zeroed in on what I'm doing here, or else I will absolutely lose sight of my time goal. All right, still got 2 minutes. Okay. Wow. Oh, now I have 1 minute. It's the longest 2 minutes ever, and then the shortest 1 minute ever. Okay, so we're making, I feel like I'm making some pretty good progress here. Part of me now sort of wishes I would have actually tried to draw the that flower, but live and learn. Okay, so we don't want too many colors. We're just gonna try and keep it to blues and grays and white, and then it's darker closer to the edge over here where it's farthest from the sunlight, and then figure out the last few sort of rock shapes as we go. And yeah, okay, now it is 4 o'clock, which means I'm gonna call it done for now. Obviously not completed, but let me step back from this so I can just see what's on my... Alright, yeah, so I can at least see where I'm going from here, and I can get to the rest of it. I think I might actually be able to do the waterfall portion in watercolor, so that may be what I do next. After I get the rocks and everything finished up here, I might throw a couple watercolor washes down and see how that looks. Alright, well, thanks a lot to anybody who watched and anybody who's following along here. I really appreciate your time. I hope you're having a great day. See ya.